Fear. Coming to the realization that you are not adequate in every way. Fear. Preconceived notion you are no longer in control of a situation. Fear. The thing that attempts to take over your body as a protection mechanism. I always face my fears, no matter the consequences. Will you? What's up, guys? This is Jason from the Jason&Jabari Gaming, and today we have war number 6 against ISO8A. So we are going into this war at a disadvantage for a couple of reasons. Number one, we knew these guys were tough when we faced them last time, so we knew we had to bring our A game. However, we already were at a disadvantage with only having 9 guys in BG2, my BG. So we had an individual that decided to leave, and we had to get a replacement in the middle of the AQ and this war. So there's some less than ideal matchups, and that does end up costing us for a lot of reasons. But shout out to the BG officers. They did the best they could with what we had, and I respect them for it, and I appreciate it. So I have a lot of fights this war, and you will see I am boosting to pretty much the T to do my part towards the latter fights if I'm able to boost. But this first fight that we have is Miles Morales. And before we get into this, if you guys are liking this type of content, please leave a like and a subscription. This greatly helps us with the YouTube algorithm at getting more exposure to reach more people such as yourselves who like war content. Alright, so first fight we have is Miles Morales, as mentioned before, and I'm going to take him with Shang-Chi. The strategy initially for this fight was to add on a combat regen and pretty much stay topped off on health. But as I go into this fight, you will see that the strategy changes up slightly, and I will explain what happened. All right, so we're going into this fight. We start off with a parry. We're going to go for a stun and then a slow. And I was supposed to go for a cleanse, but I went for a slow because I was thinking old Miles Morales, where you get like 5 hits or something like that, or he gets 5 counters, and then he can evade you that many times. But there I go for a parry, drop my special 2, he's dead. I'm still at a full yellow bar, so it worked out. But yeah, that's what I meant by slight variation. Nothing hard about that fight at all. Next fight we have a Dormammu. I was scheduled to take off dexterity for this fight, and I agreed to it, and then I completely forgot to do that, which was unfortunate. I switched to a power start 1 because with Human Torch I cannot shrug off that heal block. So, and I have a lot of these gray boosts in the overflow still. I still have compensation packages to pick up, so it doesn't really matter. But with this Dormammu, I take some block hits in order to build up my smolders, and yeah, he is not incinerate immune, which I think is very silly because the dude's on fire, and just like Mephisto, he should be incinerate immune, but he's not. So the idea here is to nuke him down. I throw my special 2. I had dexed earlier, if you noticed that, and that cost me. I got some degen on me, but he's going down relatively quickly. I throw my special 1 to end the fight. I lost about, I don't know, 16% health, so not terrible. But yeah, that was my first section. Now we're moving into section 2. I am scheduled for 4 fights this time, including both minis from the beginning of path 4, 5, 6 and the end of it. I am at a basketball court with my daughter at this point, and it's getting very late, so I opted to mega boost and hurry up and try to take these fights. I do get distracted, and you will see the consequences of that. But for this first fight, we have Silver Surfer. He does benefit from high ground, and my strategy for this fight is to get him in the Doom cycle. So that is the entire strategy for this fight. There I get a nice little intercept with my special 1. He's building up. I'm stealing his power. I back off so he can dash at me and I can get one more parry. I don't quite get the parry, but the idea does work. I get us both to 3 bars of power, and then I release my special 3. This will passively stun him. Then I will be able to do my Doom rotation on him theoretically. And that did some pretty decent damage. And I haven't noticed high ground until right now. There's a charge right there, but obviously we'll remove it. We're at 40 hits. So with this Doom rotation, it kept that high ground in check relatively well. And we don't lose that much health. I think it's, yeah, 93%. So that's not bad at all. So we'll take it. He's down. Moving on to the next fight. I have path 5, so I'm going straight up the middle. I was scheduled to use Human Torch against this Professor Xavier with Flame On. The reason why I was elected to use Flame On is because Incinerate increases the timer for high ground. So what I mean by that is basically it speeds it up. So I guess it would be more shorten the timer would be a more accurate statement. And Shocks and Incinerate does that, as you will see, which will be a problem later on. But for now, I'm going in with Human Torch on this Ebb and Flow intercept. I don't have a problem with fighting Professor Xavier. He does energy damage, so this ideally is a very good matchup. I think even without the Nova starting in it, you can still do this fight. It will be more challenging, but I do think that it's doable because you would probably be able to get into your Nova form very quickly. There, I tried to do a heavy too late, and fortunately it worked out for me, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing a late heavy. That probably won't end very well for you. But as you can tell, he's going down relatively quickly. The strategy that I like to do with Professor Xavier is to get him to 2 bars. I like that. You can punish both of them, to be honest, his special 1 and special 2, but I just prefer to get him to his special 2. So there I go for my special 2, and notice I haven't really got an intercept besides that that lucky heavy that I did. Other than that, he's staying in his protection and he's still going down really fast. So that's another reason why Nova really helps out, because you actually don't have to intercept and your opponent will still drop. So the next opponent that we have is this Mojo. And I'm going to use Human Torch. I do not have my pre-fight anymore, and it's going to be okay. With Mojo, I don't remove dexterity. I never have. I've never needed to, and I probably never will. Even as a boss, I haven't had an issue with his prompts or anything killing me. So, I mean, I'm pretty set in my ways since it works. I opt to put on a Power Start 1. That's really not so much for him as it is for the next fight, which we'll get into here in a minute. So basic strategy, medium, light, medium, and then I go into a draft back and I get the intercept early. And now I'm going to do some real damage. I go for a special 2. Then I go back into my medium, light, mediums. And yeah, now I'm in Nova Flame. And this dude's dropping pretty quick. I get a cheeky little intercept right there. And this dude's about to go down. He throws a special 2. I don't opt to dex any of it except for the last part. And yeah, man, this is about to be lights out. This dude is melting. I get another intercept. And yeah, man, that's it. Okay. On to the next fight. And this is when my daughter comes up to me. And she's asked me a lot of questions while I'm literally taking these fights. And I'm like, crap. Oh, man. So she made the basketball team. I'm trying to help her out, you know, all that stuff. But yeah, you don't really want to be distracted while you're taking these type of fights. It could definitely come back and bite you in the worst way. So okay, here we go. All right, we start off, and we've taken this fight a couple of times without an issue. I start off with a stun, There I go for a cleanse. Then I don't know what that was. And that's how I know I'm distracted, because that should have been a slow or something, or a refresh, and I didn't do it. So now I'm trying to get a draft back. Light intercept, nope, punish me. Okay, cool. So we'll just reset now. I'll go for a special 3 since I'm right there at it. And we'll try and build up some wushu strikes. All right, so let's just try again, right? Let's just try again. All right, get a parry. Go for a 5-hit combo. To stun him. There, I dex that successfully. Then, nope, draft back doesn't work. I'm losing, I'm ticking away a little bit, so I'm like, okay, I gotta cleanse that. Then I run into his special 1. and I'm like, okay, I do not feel like I'm in control of this fight whatsoever. I go for a heavy after I did a light on a stun, so he had limber. So that didn't work. I go to punish. He's punishing me, and then I just panic. I throw a special 2, and I'm like, oh god, this is it. Like, I'm already knowing I'm dead. I'm like, all right, dude, I can't do anything. So I'm still trying. I'm going to try to get out that special 2 on him. I block it. I don't even dex it. I go back for a special 2. I throw it so I don't get to another special 3. And yeah. I go to intercept, he intercepts me. I'm down to like 8% health, and now I have his debuff on me. I get the cleanse strike off. I throw another special 2, and I'm just like, you know what? Screw these intercepts. I'm about to die, so I can't allow him to kill me, right? So I go for a stun, and then I go for a slow, and then I just drop a special 2 after a cleanse, and it drops him with protection up. That was the sloppiest, ugliest war I've done in a while. But we didn't die. We didn't die. And the whole time I'm trying to talk to my daughter, and then I just literally tell her, I'm like, hold on. You know, just like, oh god. Managed to get out of that fight. Okay, now this is one of the fights that I did not assign myself, and I actually don't assign myself anything. I just kind of say, hey guys, these are the fights I'm willing to take. This was one of the ones that I did not say, but they needed me to take. And this is not a smart idea. This is a very bad idea in my opinion, but again, this is no fault of the officers. Again, we had 9 guys and we all had to do our part regardless of how it looked. So I was very nervous about this fight for a couple reasons. Number 1, I can't boost other than a health boost. So I don't have any extra damage coming. And number 2, Dr. Doom does shock damage, which means that the high ground timer is about to expire way faster. You see how much damage I'm taking already? But even if I did, let's say, parry heavy method, she would still ramp up in charges, so there's no way around that. Now, I started this with an invulnerability boost, but there's a slight problem with that. The problem is, you'll see as later on she starts to gain her charges, I have to bait out her special 1. If not, then she's going to auto evade and do a hit on you. And you'll see that she does that to me a couple of times. Now those count as hits, and those remove my hits from my invulnerability boost. So I never actually technically got hit while I had my invulnerability boost up. I just had to tap into her like right there. You see the indestructible? It used it up. As you see, it will continue to do that. Because at this point, I'm like, all right, there's no way I can manage her charges. And I can't keep on taking hits. So the strategy is I need to bait special 1s for easy openings. And so far it's working out. I don't think that this strategy is not doable. So it's definitely feasible, but if you get caught, that's the problem. First of all, you can't block anymore because it's too much. And there I get tagged, and yeah, that's KO, dude. That is KO. So she caught me on that, and then she does that heavy, which passively stuns you. And as you saw, that was literally half my health dead. So I was pretty frustrated about that because I think I had the right strategy for the situation. It's just I wasn't able to clean it up towards the end. Like I said, she has that mechanic where she can she can hit you and then go into a heavy, which passively stuns you. Obviously, if that mechanic didn't work, I would have moved out the way, but it is what it is. So I have to heal up. I'm really annoyed at this point. And there goes my indestructible again, because I threw on another indestructible boost, and now I'm just like, oh my god. Now the indestructible is gone, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? I need to hurry up and finish this fight. We'll see if that happens or not. I was successfully able to bait out the special 1. I throw my special 2. I'm not concerned about the incinerates making the timer go faster, because the shock does the same thing. So if anything, it's at least doing damage to her. But she's getting close to being done. And we're still at a full yellow bar somehow. I'm going for every single hit that I can do in order to try to manage high ground as much as possible, and to try and get her to another bar of power, because that's the entire strategy for this fight. We want to attempt to get her to a bar of power. There you saw she went into a heavy, and you can dex out of that. It doesn't passively stun you unless she's already hit into you, and then she goes down. I do think that is a horrible matchup, and I do know that my officers would have never done that unless they didn't have a choice. So is what it is. I tried to do my best. I'm sorry for the death, guys, but you saw what happened there. So next fight, we have this Nimrod, and I believe last time we faced ISO8A, I fought this Nimrod on the Rage Mini with Torch without a pre-fight, and it went swimmingly. This time should be no different. I'm not using his pre-fight, or so I thought. But when I checked, his pre-fight had came back. Since my Human Torch is duped, he has a certain % chance to gain his pre-fight back during each fight. So I used it. I was like, great, because someone else is using their pre-fight for the boss, which I will be taking the boss as well. So there, we're just going to stick to medium, light, mediums mainly. He does not benefit from high ground. That is lag that you just saw. I don't think his special 1 is unblockable, because he does punches first. The beam itself, I don't think is unblockable. I don't remember if I dexed it or not. Yeah. So I just block it. It's not unblockable. So yeah, man, we're just going to continue to medium, light, medium. Nimrod has something where when you get to a bar of power, he passively stops you, like Professor Xavier does when he's in his like mental state or whatever. So you have to wait a couple seconds. There I go for my special 2. I go for a full hit combo. I was going to throw my special 1, but again, I was unable to because he blocks you for a couple seconds, which was fine. We still got him down. No big deal. So now we allow our teammate to take out 54, and now we have the boss. I was scheduled to take off dexterity, and I did. This time I actually did take off dexterity. Ebony Maw does benefit from high ground. I've seen a couple nightmare fights. Ebony Maw has gotten kills on people, and I've seen some clutch fights. We're going to see how I do with my Human Torch. Again, there's no other option, and honestly, I don't mind taking the bosses and stuff like that. I always try to give a maximum effort on every fight, even if I know that it's going to be potentially a high probability of me dying. I still go in there just to do my part and face my fears, so to speak. The strategy for this fight is they put Mr. Reed pre-fights on this Ebony Maw. Torch does not gain any buffs, and since I removed dexterity, he definitely won't gain any buffs. So I'm going to try to keep these up for as long as possible, because he's actually losing health because of the debuffs. But I am not successful at doing that. I don't heavy counter Maw with Torch either, which becomes a problem because we lose the pre-fights. But there, you see I got degened. I think the entire time, besides me getting smacked 5 times, I lost most of my health because of degeneration, and I actually get faltered. My temperature is going down because I'm not allowing him to hit me because of high ground. Hindsight, I probably would have been fine if I allowed him to tap me on the block a couple of times because of the benefit. What I mean by that is when he taps into Human Torch, it raises his temperature, and therefore falter will not work. And see, since falter was up, I just degened again trying to tap into him, and now I'm really in trouble. I'm like, oh crap, I'm about to die. But we'll see if that happens. I get to my special one, I throw it. I'm trying to bait out his special one. I do. He's at 4%, so I go for a full 5-hit combo and I drop him. So fortunately, we came out of that fight. Actually, I talked to my officers and showed them this video, and we all agreed that actually I can do this fight a lot better. Probably only lose about 40% of my health, but I can't get smacked in the face, number one, and number two, I need to take some hits on the block. But anyway, we definitely lost this fight. We would not have beaten ISO8A with them only having 3 deaths, because this season we haven't even come close to that. So I'm not taking anything away from those guys. You guys are monsters. Tafre, plant-based, and myself, we are all beasts this war. Congratulations to you guys. And I don't know anybody on ISO8A's name. So yeah, congratulations to you guys as well. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. You guys take care, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.